Now, our main news this morning, it's a world away from anything feel-good, let me tell you, is that police are claiming the suspect in the Clapham chemical attack may have jumped into the River Thames as the manhunt continues for the 11th day. This is the Met Commander John Saville speaking yesterday.
The last 24 hours, we have meticulously been viewing all of the available CCTV in and around the Chelsea Bridge area. And we've also worked with Transport for London in accessing the CCTV from their buses. It is our now main working theory that Ezedi has actually gone into the Thames from Chelsea Bridge. All of our work thus far has not seen him come off the bridge. We are in contact with his family in order to pass that news on and to provide the necessary information and support for them, because of course I'm sure they will also be very worried about what's happened to him and what he has done.
Well, of course, all of this comes after officers raided 2 Tyneside properties on Thursday, which they thought at the time were connected to the attack. Ezedi is wanted for attempted murder after throwing what we now know is an alkaline substance on a woman and her 2 children and injuring, of course, 9 others.
Let's talk to former Scotland Yard detective Peter Bleksley. Morning, Peter.
Morning.
What do we make of this? Because I don't think I've ever heard this before, where they're saying, well, we think he's dead, but we don't actually know.
Then I'll clarify for you. Abdul Ezedi, an utterly worthless individual whose contribution to the UK was to create a legacy of victims of crime, is dead.
But you can't know that, can you?
He is dead. He went on to Chelsea Bridge. He was seen peering over the edge. There were a number of sightings. And this is one of those cases which, generally speaking, the public are not aware of, when negative CCTV sightings are very, very important. We've grown used to, in the last 20, 30 years, of seeing CCTV of criminals, of crime and police appeals all being connected to a sighting of somebody. But in this case, because there have been no sightings of Ezedi at either end of Chelsea Bridge during the time span when he went on and was seen to be looking over the edge, those negative sightings of him, in other words, he simply was not seen, has proved conclusively, in my opinion, that he has been claimed by old Father Thames. Now, rivers, seas and oceans can be very slow to give up their secrets. At this time of the year, the Thames is utterly unsurvivable. It is in full flow. We've had so much rain, and generally speaking, it's impossible to survive the Thames in July or August, let alone February.
All right, if that's the case, why has it taken the police so long to... I mean, they've had this CCTV evidence of him going onto the bridge for a good while now, so why has it taken so long to reach the conclusion that he hasn't come off it?
Because, of course, there have been no sightings, and the trawl of CCTV has been very thorough. What we need to remember is that various authorities like Transport for London, local borough councils and individual businesses, individual residences and the such like, all separately own their CCTV systems. So it's a very time-consuming and complex operation to view everything and come to a conclusive kind of decision upon this. The police, of course, because they are the Metropolitan Police, will have to leave open the possibility. So they're saying it's their working hypothesis. I, however, will do their work for them in saying he is dead.
There will be lots of people watching right now who may conclude that he may not be dead. He may have actually found somebody who was willing to take him off that bridge, put him in a van, drive across. I mean, he could be anywhere. That's what people would be thinking as well.
And I suspect people that are thinking that have possibly not spent a lifetime in law enforcement or reviewing CCTV images or spent many, many years trying to pursue fugitives. And I understand that. I think what is more relevant here, and is very unfortunate for the Metropolitan Police, is that so many people will not believe them because their reputation, of course, has been utterly shredded in recent years. Trust in the Metropolitan Police has utterly tanked in recent years, and understandably and rightfully so in many occasions. In fact, yesterday, with an irony which is almost inescapable, the Metropolitan Police were severely criticised for the way that they deal with victims of child sexual abuse. So on one hand, they're saying this investigation is virtually concluded, and yet on the very same day, they are coming in for yet more criticism on a completely different sphere of policing.
Are we going to get a legal declaration of death then? Because that matters, doesn't it?
It matters to the victims particularly, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And the really galling part of all of this for me is that Ezedi has escaped justice through his cowardly, vicious, wicked attack, then cowardly not being able to confront the consequences of his own actions. He has escaped justice. And so he joins a long list of criminal cowards who couldn't face the consequences, like Fred West, like Dr. Harold Shipman, people who murdered many, many people and couldn't stand a lifetime of incarceration. I sincerely hope, for the doubters, that his body washes up. But the River Thames is a vast body of water.
And very tidal as well.
In full flow. It's as dark as a casserole this time of year. And I just hope, in order for some conclusion, that a body is found, but he could easily have been washed out to sea by now.
OK.
It's such a terrible ending for the victims, I think, because they'll still be worried, particularly the woman he hurt so badly. Or you see, at what point do we stop saying he allegedly hurt? Because, I mean, we in this business say allegedly until somebody's been caught and tried and convicted. And at the moment, we still call him an alleged perpetrator of this terrible thing.
You may, but I am entirely confident that he will not rise like the man from Atlantis and sue me for saying his victim, who now lies in hospital still at the tender age of 31, possibly losing the sight in one eye, undoubtedly permanently disfigured, is the person with whom my
and
thoughts
she'll never
rest.
know, if they don't find a body or find him, she'll never really feel comfortable that he is dead, will she?
Well, I hope that in the fullness of time, firstly, a body is found, and secondly, she may be able to find some tiny crumb of comfort from that.
Oh, well. Let's hope there is a legal declaration, because you can't libel the dead.
I hope they find the body.
Yes, well, the problem with the Thames is, Peter, and you'll know this, it's the silt a lot of the time, isn't it? People, it's why they say never jump into the Thames, because if you go into the silt, you just don't come back up again.
Yeah, and there is, of course, debris on the bottom of the Thames as well, and a closed body could hook onto something like that quite easily and remain there undiscovered.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's hope the secrets are given up by the Thames sometime soon, just to bring closure to everyone on that one. For now, Peter, thank you.